You sneaky, you're running as an outsider.
I am an outsider.
Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Come on! Come on! Really?
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly.
Let's give the people what they came for.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Mr. Prime Minister, will there always be a Canada? There will always be a Canada. All right, elbows up, elbows up.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here! Get them out of here! Get the hell out of here!
Enough with the woke shit.
So the answer to that is to stop being stupid.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Is the federal government stealing from us? Are they sabotaging our industry? Are they taking us down the path to communism? Are they censoring us? Are they stealing our guns from us? Come on, let's go!
Let's fucking go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fringe. Welcome to Unhinged Fringe here on Wednesday nights. I want to give a huge shout out to Steve Carney once again, right at the beginning of the show. Happy birthday, Steve. You thought I didn't notice, but I did. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Guys, can we hit the thumbs up? I don't know what's going on if YouTube's not telling people we're live, but can we get those thumbs up in the stream? Let's get it moving, shall we? First, this wouldn't be a one-night show. I know it's not like Mondays where Mike Freedom Honey took over the waves with his podcast. He'll be doing that every Monday here on the channel. But it wouldn't be a Wednesday night if I didn't bring in my hetero life mate, Matt. How are you, man? How you doing?
You know, before the show we were talking, and I said every week I'm like, hey, maybe it won't be a giant dumpster fire on Earth this week, and we can take it a little easy on the show and talk about some silly stuff, maybe do some extra memes. But no, everything, everywhere, all of the time.
It wouldn't be Canada if it wasn't a dumpster show. Now, lots happened this week, folks. We got a lot of things to talk about here tonight. It's going to be wonderful. If you guys haven't seen El Presidente Trumpo taking Venezuela, much to the delight of those who have a brain. Those who don't have a brain, well, they should get it checked. El Presidente took the stage over the White House on behalf of Venezuela. We should probably bring that in. He had an important message to share. Let's bring that in before the show goes any further. Let's see what Presidente Trumpo had to say.
Hola, amigos. Yo soy su nuevo presidente, el señor Donaldo J. Trumpo. Your ex-presidente, el señor Maduro, is no longer your presidente. He kept talking shit, and fucking around, though, and he ultimately found out, though. Anyway, we're going to make Venezuela grande again. Mucho grande. El bigger y el better than ever before. We're going to drill, baby drill. We're going to have a big, beautiful fiesta, all the tacos you want. Mucho mariachi, sexy mamacitas, and delicious margaritas. And President Trumpo is going to be el DJ, okay? Muchas gracias, muchachos. Y let's make el Venezuela grande again. Arriba el Venezuela, amigos.
Let's make Venezuela a grande again. It really doesn't get any better than that. El Presidente Trumpo coming in from Venezuela.
Marco Rubio memes are on fire on X too.
Oh, Rubio's all over today.
Because he's now in charge of another thing and in charge of another thing. Oh man, it's funny.
Poor Marco. Let's get a roll call. Let's get a roll call going on before we get started. Raptor guy with $5 super chat. While we're getting into that, I wrote on Everly Brothers parody. Bye note. Bye Christina. Won't be missing you. We're sick of all the lies. Christia Freeland. What a joke. We're going to talk about her a little later on in the show. Let's go. Ajax is coming in from Northeast Calgary. Welcome into the stream. It's good to see you here. Got Michael coming in from Ontario. Good to have you here. Sean's joining us from Spruce. Nelson K joining us from New Brunswick. Wesley Snipes coming in from Lethbridge. David Brewer's joining us from Springfield, Missouri. Good to have you here. Jancor's coming in from Ottawa. We got Rodney joining us from Newfoundland. Marika's joining us from Montreal, Quebec. Welcome in. We got Mike Freedom Honey. Shout out to Mike. He had a good show on Monday. Happy to see him in here along with the Fringe and coming in from Beaver County. Good to see you, Mike. We got Ryan coming in from Lacombe. Monica's joining us from Nova Scotia. It's Mike. He's not a troll, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming in from Calgary. Welcome into the stream. We got Rob coming in from Bentley. We've got Witzis coming in from East Village. Kevin's coming in from Cookstown, Ontario. We got Miss Titan coming in from Nashville, Tennessee, in the good old US&A. Love US&A.
Nice.
Cold Dead Hands going for the gold. Langley Township, not British Columbian, not Canadian. Let's go. Wexit, do not redeem. We'll get to that. Thank you, Cold Dead Hands, for joining us once again. Carney's joining us from Calgary, of course, on his birthday. Make sure everybody gives Carnage a happy birthday out in the chat. Let's embarrass him a little. We've got Mike coming in from Kirkland, Washington. Welcome in. Greg's joining us from Provost, Alberta. Bruce coming in from West Virginia. Honda's joining us from Calgary. We got Tariq coming in from Gull Lake, Alberta. Inkanu, I think that is, coming in from Freedom Land. I'm going to assume that's Alberta. We got Arkansas's Rebel coming in from Arkansas. No, it's Arkansas. Welcome, man. It's good to have you here. We got Ann coming in from Edmonton. Mystical's joining us from Ohio. Raptor guy's coming in from Scarborough. Charles coming in from Lethbridge. Man, you guys are on fire tonight. I can see all the chimings in. Look, everywhere. Mark's joining us from Florida. Gotta love Florida. Man, Winnipeg, I see in there. Gerald Cooper, the $2 super chat. Carol and Gerald are joining us from Calgary. Thank you so much. Welcome in. Man, look, Bradley's joining in from Edmonton with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Guys, I got to get caught up in the stream. We have a lot to talk about tonight. A lot has happened.
Where to start?
I usually get into these shows curious, like, what are we going to talk about this week? How do we fill the time? There's just too much to talk about. I want to get some Alberta stuff out of the way right off the bat. If you guys have been following the recall campaigns, I've been saying for a long time, this is nothing more than a data gathering for the NDP. Dmitry Nicolaides' recall campaign only is 10,000 signatures short as deadline looms in the Alberta recalls. These guys aren't getting the signatures they need. This is nothing more than them stealing people's information. It's nothing more than a political stunt to figure out for the NDP where they have to pick up the slack, where they can actually run candidates. Unbelievable. Wasting everybody's time.
Anything close to the amount of signatures they need, you bet they'd be screaming it from the rooftops. And
absolutely.
Silence.
Absolutely. So, yeah, data mining. They're just data mining. That's the word I was looking for.
And it's
nothing more.
They can say, look at all these recall petitions. Look at they're facing recall.
Yep.
They're facing recall. It makes it sound like it's a bigger deal than it actually is.
Yep, absolutely. For any of those people running those recalls, I've only got one message for you.
Go ahead. Call your dads. Tell them about your alternative lifestyle as a gay communist. And then, who knows, maybe eat a lollipop. I don't know what flamers do with their time, but I'd imagine it's something along those lines.
I'd imagine it's something along those lines. I don't know. Let's on the good news, folks. On the good news, Jerry Raff out last night signing the first petition. He's the first signature on the sheet, ladies and gentlemen, for a free and fair Alberta, for Alberta independence. I'm happy to see Jeff got the first signature. He's definitely earned it. We've got some information about that. In fact, Matt, I think you have got some information about
right now.
Petitions. Let's go. Let's take a look here.
Obviously, we all know about the big I keep wanting to call it a rally, but the town hall rally, whatever you want to call it. We'll have a rally in the parking lot. We'll grill some steaks, whatever. I don't care. So you're gonna be able to sign there. They've already said. But here's some locations. I don't know if you guys can read those. I'll read them off real quick. Thursday, January 8th at 7 at the. I don't even know how you pronounce that. The Berserker.
Bicycle.
Is it
Bicycle?
Oh.
Yep.
And then Saturday, January 10th, 7 at the Quarks store in Vulcan, Alberta, Thursday, January 22nd, Paradise Inn and Conference Center in Grand Prairie. Friday, January 16th, James River Community Hall in James River Bridge. Tuesday, January 20th, Fox Creek Community Hall, Fox Creek, Alberta. Thursday, January 22nd, Paradise Inn and Conference in Grand Prairie again. Friday, January 23rd, Albright Community Hall in Hythe, Alberta. Friday, January 23rd, at the Fort Saskatchewan Community Hall in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. January 10th, Quality Hotel and Conference in Fort Mac. Bentley Community Hall, Monday, January 12th in Bentley. Wednesday, January 14th, Eckville Community Center in Eckville. Wednesday, January 14th, Festival Hall in Red Deer. Saturday, January 24th, Harvest Outreach Ministries in Edson, Alberta. And then Monday, January 26th, the BMO Center, Calgary, Alberta. Derek and I will be there. Mike Freedom Honey will be there. I think PJ the Belt said he was going to be there. Come and hug your favorite podcaster. Tuesday, January 27th, Crown's Nest Community Hall in St. Blairmore, and Wednesday, January 26th, Pincher Creek Community Hall, Pincher Creek.
That's the Crow's Nest Community Hall. For anybody who missed that one. A lot of locations, folks. I'll have Matt send me that after the show, and I will put it up in the posts section of the YouTube channel for you. Just like all of our graphs, everything else I've been sharing out, it'll be in the community posts area of the YouTube channel. If you want to know how to get there, folks, just go to the main YouTube channel on any desktop or your mobile device, and it'll say videos, live, and then posts. You want to go over to posts, you'll be able to find it there, and you can share that out with everybody you know. Speaking of which, as Matt said, the BMO Center, January 26th, 7 p.m. I want to see everybody there, and I want to see you guys wearing your I Am Alberta hoodies or your Independence shirts. Rise of Alberta tweeting out, Calgary, it's happening, an indoor Alberta Independence rally. It's a rally slash town hall at the BMO Center, January 26th at 7 p.m. Speaker lineup will be announced soon. Come sign the petition and be part of the momentum to build Alberta's free and independent future. Keep in mind, if you are going to sign the petition, you will need photo ID, government issued ID. You will need something showing that you are a resident of Alberta in order to sign the petition. Look at Carson El Gringo Grande coming in. I'd love to see a real-time count of signatures. I'd like to see that too, but I think with all the screwing around that's set to happen, they're probably not going to announce it right away. I can assure you I am in close contact with APP. I'll let them know when I see them that anytime they want to share with me the level of signatures that they have, to send it my way, and I'll update you guys. So keep it here on this channel. We will keep you guys up to speed on that one. Raptor guy with a $5 super chat. Freeland's gone. Nate Erskine-Smith likely is next. I've heard rumors he's stepping back. With Jonathan Wilkinson, Bill Blair, Stephen Guilbeault, Melanie Jolie, and possibly more next. I'm going to have a video about that coming up real soon. Raptor guy, thank you for the $5 super chat.
I have something to say about that.
Go ahead.
When people celebrate because a politician steps down or leaves, it's like, yay, they're gone. Yeah, Chrystia Freeland went over to Ukraine, and she's going to wash the money that we're all sending them. There's nothing to, I mean, it is something to celebrate, but it's not a victory, because these people like Justin Trudeau, who's off frolicking on a yacht with what's her face, yes, they're gone and they stepped down, but like, they didn't have to suffer any consequences from all of the things they've done. They've just moved on, and in a year or two, people will forget they exist and nothing will happen. Nobody in power ever faces any legal consequences for anything they've done, and it drives me nuts.
Well, and it's not just that. I saw it in the chat a second ago. I was about to say the same thing. All of these by-elections are safe for those candidates. So another Liberal's just going to get in, folks. It doesn't mean Mark Carney's losing anybody from his caucus. He's merely going to hold by-elections at our expense and, rack up more Liberals. Simeon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, being a member for 1 month. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the Patriots Club. Thank you for that. I want to talk for a second here. We're going to get to Mark Carney. I know the headline of the stream is about Mark Carney being stuck, that Trump has him stuck. He doesn't have a way out. I'm going to get into that later in the stream. I want to take care of some other stuff first, some honorable mentions that when we get to what's happening in Alberta. It's hard to do Alberta content lately because YouTube is really censoring it out. Anytime I do Alberta content, it gets shoved down in the algorithm. So I've been trying to do a little bit of national coverage lately, just to kind of get out of that rut with them, always looking at the channel. And then once in a while, I'll sneak some Alberta stuff in when it calls for it. Otherwise, we'll leave it for streams for the most part. Jeff Rath saying reconfederation is an idea being put forward by Michael Binion, Ron Mannix, Preston Manning, Jay Hill, and others in favor of a reinvigorated status quo that protects the wealth of Alberta billionaires and vested interests. So when you look at a bunch of guys in Calgary, who was the guy from Dragon's Den we had?
Kevin O'Leary?
No, it was Brett Wilson.
Oh,
Brett Wilson, sorry. Brett Wilson says that he doesn't stand with independence, and there's a reason for it. When billionaires' money gets affected, they're obviously going to stand against because their bank account, their special interests are going to take a hit on the idea of independence. So Jeff Rath says that this is the way billionaires want to have their vested interest. He says the big idea is to have the independence movement win a referendum for independence, then shove us out of the way so that the adults can negotiate some form of renewed federalism, with them being the ones at the table to sell all of us out of the interests in staying in Canada. Unfortunately, they seem to have sold this idea to Danielle Smith. It's likely why Binion was on the What's Next panel. He says, Modry and I were called to a meeting last summer, and I can vouch. I know a lot of people that were in that meeting. It was kind of like a meeting of the minds. He says, where Binion condescended to explain this to us. Manning, Hill, and others were there. I told them all to pound sand. I told them all that I told them all that the only thing APP was interested in was full-blown independence from Canada. I told them that Alberta independence was an express train. They could get either, or they could either get on board or get run over. So, yeah, I know Brett Wilson's entitled to his opinions, and that's only one. But the reason I'm saying about Brett Wilson is because this is the behavior of the elite. When you talk about the East and you talk about the Laurentian elite that have their claws in Canada's federal system, it's the same thing with the West. You have Preston Manning, again, great guy. I've had him on the show. I quite like Mr. Manning, but his family has deep roots in politics. You know, Stephen Harper's out here. You've got a lot of people that are out West that still have a lot of connections to the political system. And it's just something to watch out for. It's not necessarily something that I'm saying is an indefinite, but it's something to watch out for as we move forward with independence, because we're already getting the shenanigans, just as I said we were going to do. Again, vigilance is key, folks. Keep your eyes open.
The whole point of it is to get a new constitution that keeps both wealthy elites and politicians from screwing everybody, not to, give the people who have money in Alberta already a better bargaining position with Ottawa.
Yes. Yes. The reason we say this and to keep an eye out for this is because there's going to be a lot going on. And again, slings of mud are going to be thrown at everybody throughout this process. We've just begun the signature info. Forever Canada volunteers and staff are planning to apparently sabotage the Alberta independence petition. Now, I've been told by Jeff Rath they're being very vigilant with this. I've been told that they're keeping a very close eye on how things work with their canvassers and their volunteers. It says open calls to sign up to the volunteering and to manipulate the petitions and signature gathering. Again, an initiative by Tom Lakasik and the NDP unions. These people are openly discussing fraud and political interference. Here's the Facebook posts down here. Let's see if we can bring it up a bit. Here we go.
That's a little better.
Teresa Hill chimes in. I think we should all sign up as canvassers, but not collect signatures. And the guy says, Teresa Hill, you mean openly admitting to election interference? Teresa Hill, haha, just like Lethbridge, MLA, and Nuroff recall. Nick Adams, better yet, collect signatures and not hand them in. Nick Adams, we might get in trouble for that, but if we just give back blank sheets. Then another one says that's a better idea. Then they feel like they already signed, so they don't have to sign another. So, I mean, these posts are all over social media.
Mm-hmm.
This is not brand new news to APP. And again, like I've said on this channel before, we all know that this stuff is afoot. This is how they're going to behave. This is how the left behaves. They're a bunch of children. So we allowed Tom Lakasik to have his petition. We allowed them to collect their signatures. And while some people maybe drove by and yelled an independent Alberta, nobody prevented them from getting signatures. And this is why we are different from the left. And this is why we can't succumb to the same ideologues as the left. We can't behave the way they do. Liberals are the elbows up crowd. Yeah. Well, of course.
If they're so confident that independence is going to fail and we're not going to do it, then just let us go. See what happens. But they know.
Well, and that's been
they can't
my
just
argument.
Let it be.
That's been my argument from day one. And it's the one thing that I say anytime you hear Nenchi or you hear any of these guys saying, look, there's no call for this. I'm not going to say who, but a family member of mine said, you do realize that the people looking for independence are just, the small town rednecks in Alberta. So keep in mind, this is somebody outside of Alberta. And I said, look, if you think that's the case, then just let us have our vote. Let's go to the table. Let's vote. And let's see where it goes. Oh, well, you don't know how damaging that could be. You don't know how much that's going to damage Alberta. Look how it damaged Quebec. Look what it did to them. I am so sick and tired of people saying that. Xylo says if you're getting pushback, you're doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I keep saying we have to be vigilant with this, folks. We have to stay the charge, and we have to make sure that we've got our eyes open. We got to make sure to take the emotion out of things again. Focus on the vote. When canvassers come around, if you're around canvassers, if it's not at an APP event, ask them for their credentials. Ask for their names. Ask if you can take a photo of their face and send it to APP. That's what I'd be doing, and ask to get your votes verified.
In order to be a canvasser, you have to go through like a screening process, a little bit of like I don't know if it's a class or like a course or whatever for a day, and you get issued an identification that says who you are and what you're collecting signatures for.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes to your door saying they're collecting for APP, you ask to see that ID.
Yep. Yeah, they are authorized through Elections Alberta, so they should have that information for you, folks. Gerald Cooper, $5 super chat. Derek and Matt, is it at the BMO Center at the Stampede Grounds? Yes, it is. And in terms of talking to people, keep in mind, please, for anybody who's coming, we'll try and make time after or before the event to chat with. There's everybody. It's always so busy at these things. But keep in mind, we will be filming while we're doing this. So anybody who's not able to make it to the BMO Center can see this giant town hall that's taking place at the BMO Center. I don't want our crowd to miss out on that, especially our American viewers and those from around Alberta or in Canada. So stay tuned for that one, folks. I just ask that anybody there give us some time just until we're done filming to come over and say hello.
Did you ask, do we have permission to film inside the event?
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Yes. APP has asked the Fringe to be there for media purposes. So we will have the cameras going, and we'll make sure to get that out to you guys. So Simeon NYE, I think I'm pronouncing that right this time. $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Do you think there might be a federal election, perhaps in the spring? I'm really not sure because Mark Carney is kind of losing his grip on things, especially with this Venezuelan thing. And again, we're going to get further into the stream about why the walls are closing in on Mark and why I think not necessarily will we see an election, but the pressure for one will definitely be on. I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. Raptor Guy, $5 super chat. In terms of Disney villains, Trudeau's Gaston. He doesn't look that good. Ford is Radigan. Oh, the Great Mouse Detective, and Carney is Frollo. Fair enough if that's how you want to look at it, I guess. Thank you for the super chat. Alberta independence is a big thing right now. The only problem with Alberta independence, like I said, every time I put out an Alberta video, like go look at the channel. We put out a video about, Mark Carney and the whole Venezuela deal, and it goes through the roof. We put out a video about Alberta, like a third of the views. And I'm telling you, from some people will say, well, it's just because people don't live in Alberta. They don't really care. They're not paying attention. It has nothing to do with that. I see the live statistics when videos drop. I'm telling you right now, you can tell very clearly they're being retooled as soon as they're dropped to make sure that, people aren't seeing it.
One of your videos this week, didn't they?
Yeah, they pulled my video on Chrystia Freeland. They said it was harassment and hate speech. So it got pulled within like 5 minutes, and I wasn't allowed to appeal the video. Usually you're allowed to appeal with YouTube, and they just demonetize until they go through it. Nope, their algorithm right off the bat said it's been reported, hate speech, harassment. So I wasn't allowed to talk about Chrystia Freeland. So that video got yanked.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Well, at least you're not not in France. 10 people went to jail in France for calling Macron's wife a man. To jail.
Jail. Wow.
Jail for saying that Macron's wife is a man.
Wow. It's ma'am. It is ma'am.
And make no mistake, my people, that is what they are trying to get to here, where, you know, Derek wouldn't have his video pulled. He'd go to jail for talking smack about Chrystia Freeland. That's
straight
what they
to
want.
jail.
Straight to jail. Believe it or not, jail.
Jail. Straight to jail. Before I got a little bit more about Alberta to talk about, folks, especially Nen shit. But before we do, I know everybody here's got a fever.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
How? More cowbell. I forget to always put that in when you guys are here. Let's get into this. Danielle Smith. Naheed Nen shit. You guys have been following what's going on. We talked about the water pipe that burst in Calgary. Now, keep in mind, this water pipe, now it's a big deal because this shows you a lot about government waste, government cover-up, corruption within the governments. Naheed Nenshi, while he was the mayor of Calgary, there is a report out that we're going to go over. We're going to take a look at it here on the show. There was a water main that basically brings, what is it, over half Calgary's water in through the city. This water main burst. And for years, Nenshi refused to follow through with inspections, recommendations. Danielle Smith basically called him out right before this report dropped. Raptor Guy, $2 super chat. I mean, Menzies got arrested for trashing Freeland. Well, he did. He did. Welcome to China. Is it China? I think people say. Let's hear what Danielle had to say, because what's funny is the headlines were all over this week within the legacy media, calling out Danielle Smith, saying, "I can't believe she's blaming Naheed Nenshi for what happened in Calgary." He was the mayor when this happened. He went out of his way to deny the inspection of the pipe when he was told, again, according to this report, we'll show you the report after, he was told by multiple people that are specialities in these departments, you need to do an inspection. And he says, nah, I want to put in a bid for the Olympics. I want to build an LRT extension that's never going to get built. We need the money for those things. So I'm not going to do an extension or an inspection in case, there's some costs in there, right? Should be fine. It'll be fine, right? Listen to what Danielle
hoop instead.
Yeah, we need the big blue ring in the city. Let's take a look.
And on the water main break here in Calgary, what can you tell Calgarians who are frustrated by water restrictions again?
Oh boy, frustration doesn't begin to describe what we're seeing with what happened in Calgary. You know, Calgary had years where they were having a much higher level of water leakage than any other municipality. You can go and ask Build about that. They were having 20% leakages out of their water system. And yet after the floods, for 10 years, they didn't bother to do any investigation on the water main. And you have to ask the question, well, who was the mayor after the floods of 2013 until he just decided to retire? And that was Naheed Nenshi. So when you look back on who is ultimately politically responsible for making sure that taxpayers of Calgary are having this critical infrastructure invested in, they have a water utility run by the city of Calgary, and all of this should have been identified early so that now subsequent mayors are not having to deal with it. So that's one frustration. And then another frustration is that after having 2 major shutdowns last year and hearing that there's an all clear, there apparently is an administrative report sitting on somebody's desk that the council hasn't even seen yet. And so I think that they need to cough up that report so we can understand what happened. I've got a council of my ministers that are watching this. We are prepared to help Minister Farkas and Mayor Farkas and his council in any way possible. But the seeds of the problem today, make no mistake, began under previous administrations. And so we want to ensure that there's a full review done here, and we intend to make sure that we are involved in every step of the way. And they've got to address these issues for the long term. I have a lot of confidence that Mayor Farkas understands the seriousness of this. I think he has done a tremendous job communicating under very difficult circumstances. But remember, he's only been here for 2 years, or for 2 months. And so the problems that we're seeing today have a deep-seated problem going all the way back to 2014. And
so one thing she brings up here, keep in mind Jody Gondek, when they shut down water usage all last summer, during the summer, during one of the hottest summers they had on record, she said, can't use your sprinkler, can't use your swimming pools, your hose, none of that stuff. Your grass will dry out, your plants will die. None of it, because the inspection didn't happen. And we've torn up a whole portion of southeast Calgary to fix this water main break. What's really stupid is they didn't even finish an inspection while that was happening. This is the same section that exploded. Just as much Gondek's fault as it is with Nenchi's. This is what happens when you install people in government that care more about their flags and their virtue signaling over handling what they're supposed to do and what they're supposed to have the knowledge to do. They make partisan politics their goal when it comes to what's responsible. Keep in mind, when you're a taxpayer in Calgary, I just want to throw this in, and then we'll get to you, Matt. When you pay your utility bills in Calgary, I don't know how it is across all cities because I don't see it on my bills out here. But when you pay your bills in Calgary, it actually shows that you're paying for maintenance. Part of what you're taxed on, and one of your fees out of your many fees on those bills, is maintenance. So Canadian tax or Calgarian taxpayers are paying for that maintenance alongside their property taxes that are supposed to be going into paying for this service. While Nenchi instead wanted to make a bid for the Olympics or build an LRT line. Sorry, what were you going to say, man?
I was just saying, nobody wins a popularity contest by fixing a sewer, but I mean, you'll lose one when it blows up. And if your municipal services like sewer and water and such are the responsibility of the city. And if you're mayor of the city from 2013 until 5 minutes ago, and then the pipe bursts 5 minutes after you're gone, like, it's not like that happened in a day. That's years and years of neglect. So whose fault is it? Nenchi.
I'll show you.
Up. I don't know how anybody can even try and deny it.
Well, let's take a look at what Dan McLean had to say here. Breaking independent Bears Paw South feeder main. The report is now public. Now, Nenchi, Berta Proud Dad put out a video saying that Nenchi had said he'd already seen this report before anybody else had. He's not even the mayor anymore. Why is he looking at the report? I want to know about that. But it says here that the report delivers a shocking and damning indictment of repeated failures at City Hall. Keep in mind, Dan McLean is a counselor on City Council in Calgary. And he's calling this damning. He says key findings are unmistakable. Previous city councils and city administration knew Calgary's water infrastructure was aging and that the Bear Paw feeder main faced severe risk, yet chose to prioritize other projects over our most critical utility. A broken administrative culture actively blocked the effective decision-making, allowing preventable failures to escalate. Private sector expertise and independent experts, we love how the government uses those, were not adequately consulted or listened to. And then a failure that must be corrected. Going forward, external experts must play a central role in protecting and rebuilding our water infrastructure. This cannot continue. So he says Calgarians expect accountability and they deserve action. Here's the report and all the things that happened in Junction leading up to the failure. So again, the risk started 2004. McKnight Boulevard had a rupture. The integrity program focused on different measures for the future. The Bears Paw feeder main had a conditional assessment in 2007, and then nothing moved through up until now. Nothing until now. Now, keep in mind, during this time, Naheed Nenchi, while he says here, I've got this clip. Nenchi said he didn't have enough money to fix our infrastructure. Then he doubled our taxes. Then he still didn't fix our infrastructure. Here's an article clip from Mayor Nenchi. Canada's crumbling cities and roads must be fixed. So this complete anus went around after this happened. You guys, anybody who lived in Calgary can probably vouch for this. When Nenchi said, oh, we're going to put in a bid for the Olympics. We're going to put in a bid for the Olympics now. It's going to cost Calgarians roughly $20 million. $20 million.
That's a lot of money to host the Olympics. A lot of money.
Now, he wasted this money knowing that he was going to drop out at the 11th hour, which he did. He put together all these committees. He put a new stadium on the back burner, even though the city could have built at that time a new stadium for their hockey team. But he went forward with the Olympic design, $20 million. And now he says, oh, I didn't have the money to fix the pipes. Really? And you're going to come out now and
Clearly,
say
you did.
You're going to come out now and say you didn't have the money or you didn't know it was this bad after the fact, after all of this happened? Where was Nenshi saying he didn't have the money when he was bidding on the Olympics? We're talking about a green
blue hoop, okay? It was really important that he built that big blue hoop.
Yeah. Olympics, Special Olympics, so he can fit in. There you go. Yeah, he's covering his own tracks. They want him to be premier. So that was going to be my point. This is a guy who says he wants to be premier of Alberta. This is the guy who says Danielle Smith isn't fit to do her job. What? Like,
sorry, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit there.
if Albertans want Trudeau 2.0, this is how you get it. This is how you get it. Vote for Nenshi if that's what you want.
If you like Nenshi, pack your truck and move through 3 provinces east. Get the fork out of here.
Yep. I can't believe it. I can't believe he's making all these bloody excuses now. Unbelievable. What's really unbelievable, yeah, he'll never be our premier. I hope that's the case.
I hope not.
I don't know if you guys saw my video, there was rumors speculating that Danielle Smith was going to call an election in the spring. I sure hope she doesn't. I don't think she will. Again, when we look at Dmitry Nicolaides' recall petition, short 10,000 signatures, I think the writing's on the wall that the UCP are safe, that they don't need to worry about an election. Hopefully they don't. Before we get on to Mark Carney, Matt, there's
she's going to start an election. I think the rumors that she's going to start an election are started by the people who really hope she calls one, like Nenshi and his buddies.
I think so. Yeah, they're really praying for it. They're frothing at the mouth. Again, another reason, folks, that when we talk about independence, we have to be vigilant. We got to make sure we're doing things by the numbers, by the books. They want any excuse. Before we get into Mark Carney, Matt, there's some international things that happened in Minnesota under Tim Walz's watch today. Why don't you fill everybody in? I'm sure everybody's already heard of what happened over in Minnesota, but let's.
So I'm not going to play the video where the lady is unalived by the agent. But from everything I can see, do I think that guy pulled the trigger a little quicker than he had to? Maybe. But did he also follow procedure when somebody's trying to ram you with a vehicle? Absolutely. And that lady was following them around all day and blocking ICE agents with her car. And they went to go, talk to her about it and possibly arrest her. And she almost ran one of them over. I think he would have been fine if he just took one step to the right. But I'm not in his shoes dealing with these people throwing crap at me all day. And, these incidents where, like, there was another one where a guy tried to grab one of the ICE agents' firearm out of his hands. That's a real quick way to get shot. Like, he had his gun in his hands and he tried to take it from him. So the guy pepper sprayed him in the face. And all of this is the result of a lot of fear mongering and posturing from the people like Tim Walz, who say these ICE people are terrorizing our communities. They're wearing masks. They're kidnapping people. We need to stop them. And like, this is incitement. And you're going to see that they're doing that up here too. And it's dangerous because it results in altercations like this. And
I'm going to show this really quick for anybody who's debating, because here's how we know this was self-defense. And we're not going to show the whole grim video, but let me get a few honorable mentions out of the way. They've been waiting patiently. Lori with the $7 super chat. Thank you so much. Rumors President Trump is headed to Davos, same as Carney. I hope Trump gives them another 45-minute rant. Alberta independence for our future. Thank you so much. I'm going to talk about Davos a little later. Raptor Guy, $2 super chat. At least you don't have Olivia Citywalk Chow. Yeah, well, it's all that for anybody, though. That's the difference. Like, we don't want the one thing people never really realize. Hang on, I'm going to pull this out so we can chat for a second. When it comes to politicians, when it comes to the people you vote for, what we should be doing in politics is when somebody wins, even if it's not our guy, realistically, we should be saying, Well, we want them to do the best job they can. We want them to ultimately do, good things for people. We want them to pass good policies. Hopefully they don't screw things up too much. The problem in the world right now is we've moved into this mentality of us versus them. Red versus blue, Dems versus Republicans, conservatives versus liberals. And I'm not saying that we should be saying, oh, I hope Mark Carney does a good job, or I hope anybody else does a good job. It's just a shame that we're moving into this format, because as we move forward with politics, it makes it really hard for anybody to ever get anything done, because all these distractions are happening on the side. And all you have with the internet now is people saying, look who did this, look who did that, these people are bad, they should go, while the other side says, nah, we like them, they should stay. It's going to be a hamster wheel anytime we go through politics from here on out, folks. Gerald with a $5 super chat. Is there a place on Earth with no government to control humans? Can't wait to talk. I'm not sure. If you find it, let me know. Let's go over what happened in this video in Minnesota with ICE. So she was ordered out of the car. She refused. She backed up. She drives forward into an ICE agent. ICE agent pulls out his firearm only when she starts moving forward into his body. Self-defense, case closed, is what this poster is saying. Let's take a look, okay? Because this is in slow motion. You can see while this this agent has his hand on the door. We'll turn the audio off so there's no. Okay, so you can see the ICE agent right here.
Yeah.
Right here in front, right? So watch the tire right next to this agent here. Watch the tire start to spin. So it goes back and it slides on the ice. Look at that, spinning toward, and that's when he fires. And it goes, so he fired right about here. And the shot went through.
Actually.
Oh, was it before? But it went right through the side window. But you can see the tire again. Let's go back. You can see the tire spin, which means there was a lot of speed going behind that car, or at least them trying to get speed through. They had no regard for the agent's life that was standing in front of the car. Look at it go. Look at it spin.
If it wasn't icy, she would have smashed right into him.
Oh no, there was the shot right there.
There
was the shot right there. Okay. You can see it. So watch again. Up and to the left. Here we go. You'll see the tire spin and the car goes significantly into the agent, as I was saying earlier. So here it goes forward, and watch. There's the shot, and there they move to the side, and this guy lets go of the car, and the car goes off to the side where the woman was struck. But you can see the wheel spinning. This guy was preserving his own life. He was looking out for himself.
So
as he should.
That lady, yes, somebody mentioned in the chat. Did they mention they asked her to leave? She had been following him around all day, blocking vehicles with her car, harassing the agents, told to go away many times, and this is the end result. And like we said, if she wasn't spinning on ice, she would have smacked that guy pretty hard. There's actually another video out there that shows it from the other side, and it actually shows how much she actually hit him with the car. Now, I still say he would have been fine, but reacting in that situation, you can't judge after the fact that guy on the boots on the ground right in front with a car hitting him. You just can't. And there's a use of force doctrine regarding vehicles, and he was well within his rights to do that. Oh, yeah. We lost Derek for a second.
Hold on.
So now, right now in Minneapolis, right now, if you want to pull up my window, they're giving her the George Floyd treatment. There are about 10,000 people on the street.
Sir Floyd the Breathless.
Setting things on fire, rioting. And Tim Walz has said he's going to mobilize the National Guard, not to get these people off the street, but to mobilize his National Guard against the ICE in his state. So this is where we're at. This is like literally like a hair's breadth from like really bad like Civil War type shit happening because the Democrats can't stand it.
It's almost like the Summer of Love when Floyd got it, when all the BLMs were out torching businesses, looting, rioting. And well, I don't know what to tell you, folks. It says they're nationwide. Unfortunately, I don't understand. These people are stealing.
that was the last thing I saw before I went online. I mean, I'll be tracking it later after the show is over too to see what's going on down there, but it's not good.
So here's a good way of putting it. It says how stupid you have to be if you have a gun drawn on you to refuse and speed towards an officer. It's not a matter of being stupid. It's a matter of not caring. These people have no regard for personal safety or human life.
And they don't
care.
Understand real consequences. They don't understand.
Yep.
And that you can't just walk up to a police officer and try to grab his gun. You can't speed away in your car and towards a police officer who is armed and ready to defend himself. You can't yell bomb in the airport. You can't yell fire in the theater. Like these are consequences happen to these things.
Yep. It's the problem is that, again, this is where I say the internet and the us versus them mentality is you now have just like Venezuela with all the lefties that are out. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of the lefties out at all the embassies and whatnot protesting that Venezuela should go back to the way it was and let Maduro free. While actual Venezuelans yell at them and say, shut your mouth. Like, you don't speak for us. This is the problem with the internet. This is the problem with the government saying, oh, we want to silence free speech. But those people are allowed to run around and behave like lunatics, right? This lady almost drives over and kills a man doing his job. Like, keep in mind that while that lady will not go home to her family, this officer wouldn't have gone home to see possibly his wife and kids if he has any, simply because he was doing his job. You can't bring social politics into everything.
Do we have a minute to talk about Venezuela a little bit before we move on?
Yes, we do. Carney, $5 super chat. It's National Guard. Keyword national. Yes.
Fully agree. The National Guard, the National Guard is tied to each state. Each state has their own. The governor of a state has the authority to mobilize the National Guard.
Yep.
Or is it? I don't know. Whatever it is. But anyways, let's pop up this screen.
It's kind of. Hang on one second here. There's something I had to show about Venezuela while we get into it. Okay. For anybody, like, again, when I mentioned the protesters, and we mentioned kind of what happened with all these embassies being flooded, New York being flooded with people, one of the things people had mentioned or noticed was people getting their signs. Like, this was all pre-planned. People had high printed signs, all high quality, ready to go.
5 minutes.
Yep. Mobilized within hours.
Like the whole raid happened in the middle of the night and was over in 2 hours. And by like 10 a.m. the next day, there were thousands of people everywhere with professional signs.
And everything else. Like Bob Barker was involved. Let's take a look.
Johnny, tell us about the next item that old Alexandria What's Her Nuts here probably won't win.
All right, Bob, we have a surprise for you today. It's the all-new Antifa and Black Lives Matter approved protester printing press made by Soros for all of your protest sign needs at home or take it on the road with you. Whenever your whiny ass feels the need to protest, print up your protest sign instantly for all of your protest needs. Made by Soros.
Soros really knows what they're doing when it comes to quality products, I guess, and protesting.
I love the Trump no lady. So you played one in the video earlier, Trudeau saying, Maduro's a dangerous dictator. He needs to be stopped. And there's a similar video everywhere of all the Western leftist leaders from Starmer and, Biden and all of them saying he's a dangerous dictator. Biden himself upped the bounty to 25 million on Maduro. So I don't know why everybody's mad just because Trump is the one who got him. That make it make sense to me. These Trump derangement syndrome people are the most crazy people on the planet. And
oh, you froze there, Matt. You froze and your mic's out. His mic's out. That's okay. We'll grab a super chat while he's fixing his mic. Maple Kitty, if Tampon Tim sends on the National Guard against federal agents, it is a I word. I got to watch that word. You know what's funny? If you say that word, YouTube really comes down hard. Timmy will be arrested as a traitor. Trump would send in the army to stop it. That's a true point. I could see that happening. Trump's not going to mess around, especially with all the screwing around now with the quality leering centers. and all the money that's being questioned out there now. It's so funny to me as we talk about the Leering centers while we wait for Matt to chime back in here. It's funny that, you know, this kid with a camera finds all these problems in the Leering centers. But CNN brings him on, and the first thing they want to do is investigate him. Right? They don't want to investigate the money that's being stolen. They don't want to talk about anything happening with Minnesota. They want to investigate the kid who figured all this out to begin with. Kenneth with a $10 super chat. Minnesotan that followed Minnesotan that followed this all day, watched 4 angles at normal and slowed down. Ice Agent acted in self-defense. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. There's no debating it as far as I'm concerned. When you see the wheels spinning, and somebody mentioned something about, well, if you don't see it from multiple angles, that's the only angle. You clearly see the Ice Agent in front of the car and the front wheels spinning on the ice. No pun intended. That car could have been spinning on ice, but they had to act in self-defense. I don't fault a police officer for doing his job whatsoever. That was unbelievable. He was the same agent who was dragged under a car in June by an illegal. Is that true? Was that the same guy? There's no way. Was that the same guy? Come on. That's got to be. We got to check that. I got to check that. Well, let's check that. I'll wait for Matt to get. Matt's coming back in. We're gonna. Is it? One day after April Fool's. Really? That was it? Is that the Tim Waltz is to blame? Yep. They said it was the same guy. Oh my God. What are the odds? Well, and you know that they're going to use that. If that's the case, you know they're going to use that. They're going to use that to incriminate him and say, well, this guy had a vendetta, right? This guy was a racist. What are the odds? That guy should go get a lottery ticket, right? Go get a lottery ticket. Time for women to GTFO of politics. They're thoroughly embarrassed themselves. No, there are some smart women in politics. There are a few that I like. Hang on, I'm just waiting to see if Matt's back in yet. When we talk about women in politics, I'd love to see Carolyn Levitt get into politics. How attractive is it to see a smart, good-looking woman in politics who knows what she's talking about? I think Carolyn Levitt. I'm freezing now. See, when you bring in that I word, they get mad. Carolyn Levitt. Women don't belong in politics, period. I would ask you to debate Carolyn Levitt. That woman knows what she's doing. She knows what I hope to see her in politics at some point. Terrible tampon, Tim. There's other things we can show here when we talk about Venezuela. Like, did you see this? Here's one of the video clips. We'll show this while we're waiting. Oh, let's see if Matt's back. I think Matt's back. Are you back?
I'm good.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
We were just going to show this. This is outside one of the embassies, Matt, and then we're going to get over to what you had on Venezuela. This is an immigrant from Venezuela confronting a leftist mob outside the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa. This is, again, the organized protest. Take a look at this.
So we are here in Ottawa right now, and we are in front of the U.S. Embassy. What I'm seeing is embarrassing. It's beyond embarrassing. This is terrible. There is a bunch of people who are not even Venezuelans. Actually, they are just flags from Palestine, from Lebanon, from Che Guevara, things that don't make sense. Not a single Venezuelan, because Venezuelans, we are on this side, actually just condemning and seeing what is just happening in front of us. Look at this. They are just, they don't even know how to speak Spanish. They're just spreading slogans that don't make sense. And I already confronted some of them. Look, Hands of the Caribbean. This woman is clearly not from the Caribbean, as you can see. And it's embarrassing. It's terrible what is happening. They're requesting for Maduro, who is a literal murderer and who is a criminal that has terrorized Venezuelans to be released. So they are siding with dictators, with criminals. The left has no shame. These people have no shame. And honestly, it's horrifying. Please keep in mind, they don't represent Venezuelans.
They don't represent Venezuelans. It's funny because I showed in a video this week a post from the left saying that Pierre Poilievre is compromised because his wife is Venezuelan. Like, is that really where they're going to go next? Oh no, she's Venezuelan? Anna Poilievre is Venezuelan? Oh dear God, get this man out of politics immediately.
So
this is where they think you're stupid. Go ahead,
in
Matt.
that protest that it's not like it's the same people who are there every week screaming about free Palestine. They've still got their Palestine flags. They didn't have time to change to Venezuelan flags. It's all the same people. These are professional protesters, and their only aim is to just stir shit up. That's all they're there for, and to make a scene and to get on camera and get news articles written about them and to protest about whichever issue it is that they're, people are telling them to protest about.
Yep. It's these people. Here, take a look.
Palestine from the river to the sea.
Wait, new cause alert! Huh?
Free Maduro?
Do we switch?
Yes, so.
Okay, new chant. Ready? Free Maduro! Free him now! We want dictators! We want them proud!
That's literally what's happening right now. That is literally what is going on right now. Now, Matt, you had some things to show and tell with Venezuela. Let's go.
So to recap a little bit, the U.S. military went in at night. They didn't invade Venezuela. They came in and they took out the power. They took out the air defenses so their helicopters wouldn't get shot down. They went in and they snatched him in the middle of the night, and they killed 80 people, mostly his defense force and bodyguards, and got out with Maduro and his wife without suffering a single American casualty. A few were wounded. So this leftist guy posts, Trump and Rubio killed the father of these 3 children, First Lieutenant Junio Estevez. He was among the Cubans killed by Delta Force operators as they kidnapped Maduro. So they want us to weep for a Cuban mercenary who was defending a dictator in Venezuela. That's what they're putting up on X right now. And like this man is a Cuban mercenary in a foreign dictator's palace guarding him. And yeah, US Delta took him out. Of course they did. You want me to weep for that guy?
And what I don't like is that they're using the kids as a sympathy note to say, because look,
Exactly.
no kids should lose their father. But I mean, when you're talking about a mercenary
that's
his
career.
looking after a dictator, you know what you're doing with the job.
Like, it just, I don't get it. I don't get how they can defend this when, even aside from all of the things we've shown where the left people are saying he's a brutal dictator, they put a bounty on his head. All you have to do is watch what happened. He stole the last 2 elections in his country. And when his people protested, he ran them over with armored cars and unleashed the military on them. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Except
Yeah, a little familiar.
We used
A little
horses, not
familiar.
armored cars. We turned it down a little bit because we're Canadian.
The delusion is real. The delusion is totally real. It's look, it's here. Where is it? This interview with a Venezuelan refugee is worth the watch. Truth brings tears to your eyes. Watch them when you have time. It's 18 minutes long. I'll check it out. You've got what's happening now amongst the left is you've now got other people asking. We had this in a video earlier. Canadians, as well as we had an Australian. There's people all around the world saying, "Hey, Trump, can you get Carney next? Can you help Canada next?" I've said it before. Look, I want Alberta independence. I want Alberta to be its own independent nation. But if it means getting away from Canada faster, President Trump, please come take Alberta. Let's take a look.
Oh, Mr. Trump! Mr. Trump!
Oh boy.
I mean, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice in a perfect world. But Mark Carney It's one of the things we have to get to. He's pinned into a corner. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 59 minutes into the stream, we're getting to the headline of the stream title.
That's all right.
He's been pinned into a corner. Now, he talked about the decarbonization of gas. He talked about, of oil, sorry. He talked about the decarbonization of oil and how, well, we still have a better product than Venezuela and with America. And he wants to sit and flee and go to France and talk about all the money we gave to Ukraine. Or sorry.
He's done in France. He's in China now.
I know. I have to talk about the France trip though, and I have to say that was a guarantor on a loan, because you'll have all the mouth breathers coming and going, actually, he wasn't there for those reasons. He was guarantoring the loan. Where did I have it here? There was somebody who said it beforehand about Freeland. I must have accidentally removed it out. The bottom line is, and what the headline basically said was that they knew before Chrystia Freeland took that position where that $2.5 billion was going. They knew that Freeland was getting that position. They didn't want to say anything because it just magically happens right after they guarantee that loan. All while they're building a ski chalet, right? So we got billions going out while our economy is about to tank because of what Trump's in Venezuela. You've got Premier Scott Moe, you've got Danielle Smith all screaming from the rooftops, hey, pipeline is top priority now. Like, we need to get our product to market. We need to get to Asian markets now. You need to get rid of these bad laws. You need to get rid of everything. And Carney comes on to talk about decarbonized oil.
He can decarbonize these nuts.
Do you know how screwed he is when he comes back to the House? If he even gets to that point, the pressure is on full fold. You even have Doug Ford coming out saying, where's the pipelines? Let's go. Like, let's get things moving here. Alberta still needs to vie for its independence. But when I said earlier in the show that I'll let you guys decide if an election's coming, the longer Carney stalls on this is the corner he's now in. Trump has actually put him in a position he can't ride this green economy anymore. He can't virtue signal this without his corruption being on full display. Bradshaw, a good friend of mine, actually tweets out the only reason Carney doesn't want Canada to have more pipelines is because he's putting Brookfield first. Canada isn't allowing Canadians to interfere with his investments, or Carney isn't allowing Canadians to interfere. Sorry. It says, yes, Brookfield Infrastructure Partners acquired Colonial Enterprises, owner of the massive Colonial Pipeline, for about $9 billion, including the debt, in a deal announced on April 2025, right around the same time Mark Carney was becoming Prime Minister of Canada, and expected to close the latter half of 2025, making Brookfield the single owner of the largest U.S. fuel system of pipeline. This 5,500-mile network moves gasoline, jet fuel, and diesel from Texas to the U.S. East Coast, serving over 50 million consumers. Talk about conflict of interest without saying conflict of interest. RGW, Tampon Tim is going to quit, so he'll be at the nearest Leering Center getting assistance with his mentally challenged handicap. I agree. Thank you. He's a retard. Tim Waltz is a retard. Bye-bye. Here's the thing. Carney knows he's screwed. Yeah, even Phoebe's saying he's effed big time. Time for Mr. Burns to quit. It's what you're going to find here is that when we had the Trudeau regime and when you had Justin Trudeau and his boys running the show, they had the pandemic to scale on, and then they could push their green initiatives. They could push everything because all the retards that got in line that said, you're selfish, you're dirty, you're this, you're that, you're ists and isms. They all backed Trudeau's woke policies. They backed all of his woke ideologues. They're not going to do that now with Mark Carney because it's no longer about jobs. It's no longer about, well, Algoma Steel closed down, or Crown Royals moving to Alabama, or little bits and bobs around the country. This is the future economy of this country. And it's glorious for Albertans, folks. It's glorious for those in Saskatchewan, because all this is going to do is and I hope he stalls. I really hope he stalls, because all it's doing now is pushing independence further and further to the finish line. It is proving the point that there's nothing that's ever going to be done within this political system, that it's corrupt, that it's beyond saving, and that there's no other way forward than for Alberta to pick up its pipelines and get the hell out of here. And for Saskatchewan to come along. CB, Carney's going to be the last PM of Canada. Didsbury Independence Town Hall is about to start, and they're standing room only. People are saying they're signing petitions tonight. Again, nice. I'm curious how fast they're going to garner those signatures. I'll try to talk to somebody on the 26th if we don't get an update before then to see if they have a guesstimate as to how many signatures they have, folks.
Yeah, remember when Carney was elected because he's the only man who can deal with Trump and he's going to get us a deal? We're way worse off now than we were before Carney got elected. He hasn't signed a single deal, not with the U.S., he hasn't signed a single deal anywhere. But money's gone out from our country. Nothing's coming in. But a whole bunch
it's going to continue
out.
to go out. It's going to continue to go out. Maple Kitty says that picture of the mercenary was silly fake. The baby is light, the girl is dark, and the third was tan. I wasn't really looking at it that heavily, but if you say so. Thank you for the super chat.
Maybe he had different wives. Possible.
What you've got here is a prime minister who's acting like Justin Trudeau again. He's not focusing on what the country needs, which means he's not doing his job. He's not doing his job, whether we like him or not. And this is where I say that even if your side loses, ideally, we should be saying, well, hopefully they do a good job. Hopefully they get things back on track for Canadians. We all know we weren't going to do that with Mark Carney. But, he's just Justin Trudeau all over again. Bradley with $2 super chat. Cannot wait till they start collecting signatures. They are already.
They started last night.
They started last night. Jeff Rath was the first one to sign. Let's take another look at Bradshaw here, posting out what was talked about earlier. Carney's working with a foreign entity, the World Economic Forum. Does anybody remember voting to allow the World Economic Forum in our government? Now, Pierre Poilievre has said that he won't allow it in here. From January 19th to 21st, the Prime Minister will travel to Davos to attend the World Economic Forum annual meeting. He will meet with their government and business leaders. What? So we're about to have our entire economy flipped on its ass, and he's going to Davos to talk about you'll own nothing and be happy. All while bribing MPs. Yes, we're going to say bribing MPs because
I'm just going to bring up something about the Davos because I made this point years ago. It was in one of my ranting Facebook statuses that you loved before you started this channel. It is very expensive for private businesses and like CEOs and stuff to go to Davos. They have to pay a lot of money. Politicians get in for free. And you know why? Because the CEOs getting access to the politicians is the product they're selling.
Yep.
So think about that dynamic as you read about the WEF and Davos and all that. All these politicians go there. All these businessmen go there. CEOs of various giant corporations and companies. The CEOs of the businesses pay a really big fee to go. And the politicians, if anything, they probably get paid to go. And the reason why that is because access to those politicians is what they're selling. Carry on.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about this bribe with the MPs for the floor crossers because we did a video about it the other night. It was late. I apologize for that one, folks. Yeah, it's a big club. It's a big club and you're not a part of it. That's exactly what it is. What's happening with the floor crossers, we talked on this late video the other night when it was breaking that a conservative MP had also whistleblown that multiple others within his caucus had been offered to go over to the Liberal Party so that Mark Carney would get his majority. You now have another MP through the NDP coming out for Nunavut saying that she was offered to cross the floor. Now, a lot of people said, well, you know what's funny about that is that it's just a post. You have mouth breathers coming and go, actually, it just says they were asked to cross. It doesn't say they were offered bribes. Nothing illegal was going on. I have spoken with a conservative MP that has given me more details because they, in fact, were approached. I'm not going to say the MP's name because I'm not going to drag their personal information into it. I have told them I will not make their name public. However, what they have told me is the same thing, and it was the same MP that has spoke to Mario Zelaya. At least I think it's the same MP, unless Mario Zelaya spoke with a different one. This MP told me that what's happening is essentially Senate representatives are approaching these MPs suggesting that it would be within their best interest to come over. That while they're not offering specific bribes up front, they are hinting that it's within their best interests, that there could be beneficial deals so that the ties of one MP to another or a party to another are cut by using those in the Senate, other representatives to approach these MPs to offer them a seat with the Liberals. It's corruption at its finest.
I'm going to make them
at its finest.
Refuse.
You come to me on the day that Canada is about to fall apart, and I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. We're going to... Terrible Godfather. White LTR...
Just
sorry. Go ahead.
The CBC doesn't mention this. The other articles I saw, she says she's been asked multiple times to cross.
Yep.
Like multiple times.
Which means bribes.
It doesn't say that. Yes.
Which means bribes. It means that they're coming saying, well, what if we give you this? Or how about that? Or what? It's not just, hi, this is Dave calling. Would you like to join the Liberals? No. Okay, bye-bye. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
And when the mouth breathers come in, the fart huffers that want to tell you, well, actually, they're not giving them any bribe. You don't have, what's your source? What's your source for that? I've spoken directly to a conservative MP. It's as clear as day, folks. They're buying their majority government. It's illegal.
It's not illegal to cross, but it's illegal for you to get paid to cross.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't necessarily mean money. It could mean access to something. It could mean benefits with a company or a contract for a buddy of yours. It could be a lot of different things that have monetary value outside of cash for those that are moving over the floor. White LTR, Chris Scott spoke at APP event last night in Lacombe, says it was packed and people had to park on the streets. Good to hear. Let's keep it going. Keep that momentum, folks.
I want to see that love at every event.
Floor crossings need to stop. I signed the petition against it. I think it was on Northern Perspective. That's great. Again, the only problem I have with petitions, they rarely do anything. Like, how many times have we seen petitions in the House? And it's not to say don't sign them. Of course, please sign them. Show your support. Show you're angry, right? Show that you've had enough. But you know what Mark Carney's going to say at the end of the day? Who cares? Who cares? Right?
Okay.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, somebody
too smooth. Albertans are about to be filthy rich. Well, that's the one thing I said in the video. You have to have Chris Detremont, Chris Cross, him and Michael Mann need to be audited. We need to find out any deals that were done, any transfers that were done, any new business connections that they've made. Full audit. And it should happen whenever you cross the floor. You should have ethics screen you. You should have, and I'll tell you, hang on one second. I'll tell you what's going to happen when we get back into Parliament. The Liberal government will say, we weren't doing that. And the Conservatives will say, yes, you were. And then there will be a proposition for a committee. Another committee. We'll have another committee where a bunch of people sit around and order lunch all day on our dime, and they sit and have back and forths about contracts, about phone calls, conversations, and then in the end, folks, nothing will happen. Nothing.
Allow myself to investigate myself. I was going to say, did you get that? I sent you that picture today, but it was via text, and it had every energy and mineral project that the Liberals have canceled since 2015.
Yep.
I don't know if you have that handy or not, but
what is this a troll? This dude said he'd vote for Caroline Levitt to be his leader in a world trying to kill him. I said that I think Caroline Levitt is. I said Caroline Levitt was smart and that she knew her politics. That I didn't say I'd vote for her. I'm a Canadian. Why would I vote for Caroline Levitt? Are you retarded? Are you? What the hell is that? Maple Kitty, $70 super chat.
Yeah, he's not a troll, but he's got some out there ideas that he's putting in the chat.
I think he spends time at the Leering Center. Maple Kitty, $70 super chat. Thank you so much. Heard this today. The Yukon Territory is not currently considering independence from Canada. Political focus is the territory is on internal self-government and devolution of powers from the federal government, not secession, not sure how recent. Well, thank you for the update. I'll keep my eyes open.
But once again, if Alberta goes, that could be a catalyst for a lot of other provinces to go, well, maybe we should join them because they're going to have all the money and all the power. First you get to the money, then you get to the power, then you get to the freedom.
Then, my friend, The world is yours. Let's. He was a current Leering Center graduate. Well, I hope he enjoys his diploma. I mean, it's. Oh my God. Okay. Let's get into the rest of the show.
All right, what do we got left? We've talked about Carney being screwed.
Well, he's screwed. He's screwed on multiple fronts. I mean, he's going to have to do something. He's either going to quadruple down harder than he already has to the point where his own party will oust him, or we're going to possibly see an election. I really don't know where we're going to go. I mean, Matt, where would you see it going?
In the end, regardless of what happens, Carney's going to be like, oh, well, I'm done here, and skate off back to being CEO of Brookfield or whatever and laugh into his investments. And no matter what he does between then and now, nothing will happen to him. No consequences will he face, just like the rest of them. And then we're going to be left to pick up the pieces, which is one of the things why I agree with you. I don't care what the federal government does anymore. You know, Carney can light the country on fire because we're leaving.
Yeah. Enough is enough.
Sorry to you guys who live, you know, in Ontario, and I mean, well, Quebec might leave too, but you know, I honestly, if Quebec, Alberta, and Saskatchewan all leave, like I don't know what that looks like after, like, because Canada will be split in half. You know, there'll be like the eastern provinces, and then BC and Ontario and the territories, and there'll be chunks of stuff in the middle, and it'll be weird. I have no idea what that even looks like. This is unprecedented. All I know is that it's a good idea. Let's get out.
Yep. And it's fun, and keep this in mind, folks, for all the naysayers that sit around Canada and saying, well, you're all just pro Alberta. Matt lives in Manitoba. Like, and he's excited for Alberta to go because he sees the potential of what's going on here. And now the only bad thing is that if Alberta leaves and Saskatchewan leaves, it kind of leaves that gateway open for what Jeffrey Rath was warning about earlier with Preston Manning and his boys. Although if APP has a successful referendum, I don't see, like, I'll heed Jeff's warning. And maybe we'll bring Jeff on the channel to talk about that. We're already going to bring APP on the channel to answer your questions live. So keep your ears open for that one, folks. But maybe we'll talk to Jeff a little bit more about that. I don't really understand how Preston Manning and his friends would barge their way in if APP held the successful referendum. When the question is very clear, should we become an independent state, not, you know, a republic of Western Canada? I don't see it happening. Mr. Doug Mel, I got my diploma from the Leering Center, or the Leading Center, and it came with a big box of crayons. Maybe the Leering Center? I don't know. I don't know what the Leading Center would give you crayons for, but hey, that's good, I guess. I'm happy for you. Let's do we? I mean, yeah, somebody's talking about free OJ for Greenland. Trump's going to take Greenland. Trump's going to take Greenland, and then guess what, folks? It's on all sides. All sides.
What they're going to do is they're going to offer them a deal where they offer the purchase price of Greenland. They offer every citizen in Greenland like $2 million because there's only 56,000 of them. That's chump change to the U.S. They're going to buy it, and then they're going to have the citizens vote for their independence and to join the U.S. But they're basically going to bribe the citizens with $2 million each. But hey, man,
did you guys see
Greenland? Offered me $2 million.
Yeah. Well, and keep in mind they have a very low population. Like, people are like, how is that going to happen financially? It's a very low population. It's
the Dutch aren't investing in their resources. They're doing the same thing to them that Carney's doing to us here. They won't let them drill. They won't let them mine. They won't let them do anything. So they're stuck.
Oh, I think Matt froze. You froze for a second there, Matt. Yeah, there goes his camera. You're frozen. I think your Starlink's acting funny tonight.
No, it's IV cam. Like, my IV cam on my PC keeps just turning itself off.
Weird.
Yes.
So here's the thing with Greenland, folks. Once Trump secures Greenland, everything's U.S. around us except for Canada. It's not looking good for Canada. Now, does that mean 51st state? No, it doesn't. But this is why, if I was Mark Carney, I wouldn't be running my mouth very much. I wouldn't be sitting with Doug Ford talking about, oh, we're taking Crown Royal off the shelves here and we're gonna damn Canadian jobs out of Manitoba because they're gonna go to Alabama. Like they're making it worse every single day. And again, like Matt said, you could light the country on fire. As an Albertan, I'm sitting back going, okay, yeah, that's happening, because you all know that, again, as we talked about before, it's better to have somebody realize their problems on their own than try to explain it to them. Those on the middle ground on Alberta that are talking about, well, should I sign for independence? They're going to see just how bad it's about to get in this country and how stupid the government is that runs it and how stupid they think you are. And they're going to realize for themselves, okay, I guess, yeah, I got no other choice. If I want to keep my job or my house, or if I want to be able to afford anything and not eat the bugs like Davos wants me to do, it's time to go.
You put eats the bugs.
Eats the bugs.
It's actually really nice here right now, guys. It's only like -1 for you guys thinking I'm freezing. It's not the internet for once. It's my computer being weird.
Yeah. All good. Let's do some Q&A. We've run the stream pretty much off the rails.
By the way,
was there anything else?
I got one more thing just to make a funny point about. We already watched Trump scramble liberal brains, like liberal.exe has stopped functioning over Maduro and contradicting themselves. There was another thing that happened today where the U.S. seized a Venezuelan shadow fleet oil tanker, and we're going to watch the I Stand with Ukraine against Russian aggression people start yelling at Trump for seizing a Russian shadow fleet oil tanker and cheering for Russia right away. Their brains are going to delete themselves again.
Yeah, it's going to be glorious. I can't wait. I'm just here for the memes, folks. Witzius gifting 5 unacceptable Fringe memberships to the Patriots Club. Thank you so much, Witzius. It's very generous of you. Very generous.
Yes, it was 2 tankers, but one of them they grabbed right outside of Venezuela, and this other one they chased all the way up by Iceland. And in the middle of while they were chasing it, they switched their flag from Venezuela to Russia, and Russia called the U.S. and said, that's our ship, don't touch it. And Trump did it anyway, because what the heck is Russia going to do about it?
Unbelievable. Anyway, let's do some Q&A. Let's get some Q&A.
Question?
Who wants to ask a question? Questions orales? Is that what they say when they're being dumb in Parliament?
Who wants my glorious knowledge?
What do we got here in Q&A? Did you see there's a new Most Albertan Man in the World video that dropped? Maybe we should show that while we're
going to watch it after. Are we
maybe we should watch that. Let's do it. Let's throw it on.
Put a bunch of copyrighted music on it?
I hope not. Let's bring it on and see what we got here. Let's run it for you guys.
He heard Thomas Lukasik was afraid to debate Keith Wilson about independence. He found him hiding out in a hair salon with people on Twitter. He once heard Ottawa wanted to phase out oil and gas, so he phased out their jurisdiction instead. He once worked a 2-week shift in 3 days, then stayed late so nobody else had to. He once went down south to play a round of golf with his American friend. He was happy to give him a few pointers on how to deal with communists, too. He doesn't waste time arguing with liberals in Alberta. He just waits for them to move to Vancouver. He knows supporting independence isn't treason. It's called democracy. He collected 1,000 signatures for the independence petition in one day. The media said it was a small fringe minority. He said that was a funny way to spell thousands. He learned how to convince people to support independence from Cory Morgan. He uses a pen, a napkin, and 2 minutes of common sense. He doesn't want to fix Canada. He wants to free Alberta. He is the most Albertan man in the world.
He is the most Albertan man in the world. I love it.
Yes, he is.
I absolutely love it.
That's my new line. Every time they're like, oh, there was a fringe minority. There was barely anybody there. That's a weird way to spell thousands.
Yep. Dan Armstrong saying, should we be updating from the 51st state to the 52nd since USA went to Venezuela? For a joke? Yes, absolutely. You know, we joke about 51st state. Here's the thing, folks. And here's the thing to be telling people when they say, I heard this is about Trump and Trump's going to make us the 51st state. No. Do you guys understand how difficult it is to become a state? You would need a whole bunch of work within the Senate in the US. You would need a bunch of laws to be rewritten, approvals to be done. There's a huge process. Even the US has said it's not going to happen. So anybody who thinks this is about the US or Trump, put it out right. Not saying Dan thinks that, but get that out of your heads. It's not happening. We're not becoming a state. We're going to be an independent state.
Alberta will absolutely be a very close ally and trading partner to the U.S., and there will be no elbows anywhere to be found.
Ethereal says, how close is Alberta to having a constitution drafted? So we talked about that on a past stream. So APP has made suggestions with their version of a constitution, but until
right?
at albertaprosperityproject.com, until an actual referendum happens and until we split, we won't have a constitution drafted. So that's, I guess we're as close as a referendum, I guess. I hope that answers it for you. Daryl says, curious as to how Alberta separation will affect the woke municipal political nonsense. Would a separatist government appoint municipal governors to govern over municipalities? Again, I don't know how all that works. I'm not. See, these are questions for guys like Keith Wilson who know the laws in and out. I can assume that there's a hard reset. You know, if we vote for independence, that all elections must happen again. Yeah. So that'll be my assumption. I'm not sure how they'll determine those things. I mean, look, it's not going to be some grand utopia where everybody's on the right and it's all conservatives and it's all, you know. There's no lefties around. Like, they're not all going to pack up and move. The benefit to being our own republic is that we're in charge of our laws and we're in charge of protecting ourselves. And if they want to scream from the rooftops, we probably won't tolerate things like flag protests and you know, people in the streets causing chaos. But we're not going to tell people that they don't have the right to speak or the right to look stupid. Again, they'll be a minority at that point and they'll just look dumb. So who cares, as Mark Carney would say. Mabel Kitty with a $7 super chat. Why are people saying free Alberta, not APP to sign the chat? To sign in the chat. Okay, so let's talk about free Alberta. I got to catch up to the chat here. Free Alberta. What's happened is APP. Hang on, I'm trying to bring it up because I should have actually had it. I should have had it ready.
While you're looking
free
for
Alberta.
that, just to address the one. Never mind. Go ahead.
No. Free Alberta is part of APP in its own sense. It's like another entity of APP. So what's happened when it comes to signatures, petitions, Free Alberta, I can't even find it on here. I can't find it on. So what's funny is you follow people on Twitter and it won't bring it up for you. Yeah, I can't. It won't pull it up for me on my search list. So let's just explain it. APP and the money that they've collected is not allowed to be used towards pamphlets, towards the referendum, towards anything else, and they have to distance themselves from what's happening within the referendum, within the signature process. I do have a tweet that I reposted about it, so I'll bring that up. It at least explains a little bit of what APP was talking about so people can understand what Free Alberta is. Here it is here. So APP went out to say, here, let's try and make that bigger for you guys. Because of election laws, APP has to remain totally separate from Stay Free Alberta. So the signing locations will not be on the APP website, but will be open on, and it has this link here for stayfreealberta.com. So if anybody wants to know about signing locations or where to go to sign up, stayfreealberta.com is where you go to do that. It says the website will be updated with many more signing locations. At present, they do not yet have a single person confirmed by Elections Alberta to take a signature. Now, since this was posted, that has changed because they have now started collecting signatures. But it says, allegedly, Elections Alberta could take up to 21 business days to confirm somebody who can collect signatures. So again, this is why they have certain dates listed. I'm assuming what they're doing is moving the people who are already authorized to collect signatures around the province. In terms of canvassers and in terms of volunteers, we'll maybe have some more information as that develops. Again, as I get it from Alberta Prosperity Project, I'll put it out for you guys. But Alberta Secession says Alberta Prosperity Project has launched a different website for signature collection and canvasser training. They are also on X at Stay Free Alberta. Again, I pulled that in my search bar, and for some reason, X won't pull it up. You got to love the shadow bans. So Matt's got it right here. StayFreeAlberta.com is where you want to go to get your signing information, where you can go to do that. Apparently, you can donate through them as well. Again, because their funds are going to be separate from what APP has. It says they have an app as well. Okay, that's good to know.
Nice.
That's good to know. I'm glad they've got that going. Allison says, I'm waiting for my ID from Elections Alberta and we'll be training soon. It's good to hear that. I know we have a few volunteers in the chat. That's good to see as well. Do we have any other questions? Will we get updates on the number of signatures acquired as time goes on? So we've talked about this a few times in the stream. Just to clarify, I don't know how APP is going to run this. Again, as we stated earlier in the video, there's those within the Forever Canada petition that are trying to screw with signatures, that are trying to derail the signature collection process. I'm not sure what stance APP is going to take on the updates. Again, if we don't have any updates by the 26th, I'll talk with APP when I'm in Calgary with Matt. Maybe I'll see if they can give me at least a hint as to what they think they have for signatures, or if they want me to talk about any kind of update if they haven't yet released one. So again, I'll let you know when. Last night they
retweeted on my
signatures.
I retweeted on my X account the list that I read out right at the beginning of the show, listing all the locations, and I sent it to Derek, so I assume he will also retweet it tonight. And it's also on the Alberta Prosperity Project X.
Yeah, Marika says you forgot to mention Trump wants to pull out of NATO. I mean, he wants to, but again, I just didn't see the point in mentioning it to him unless he actually does it. But yes, Trump does want to pull out of NATO.
I never.
High revenue, resource-driven Independence Alberta leverages oil, gas, petrochemicals, and critical minerals as the backbone of state revenue. Aggressive export strategy to the U.S. and overseas. Yes, agreed. Derek, you said you were going to debate Planet D. Where's the debate? You tell me. I offered a platform and said, you're free to come here. And I said to them flat out, I will give you an open forum, no aggression, no screaming back and forth. I would follow Keith Wilson's advice that, hey, let's just be friendly and have a conversation. Again, fight with logic, fact. They didn't reply to the email. They're not interested. You know why? They're grifters. They're only on the internet to spew hatred and bullshit and gaslight and get off and count their money. That's it.
And people like that, if you give them the rope, they'll hang themselves, which is why they don't debate. They're not going to debate. Tommy Lukaszik's not going to debate. None of them will.
Yep. Somebody says
they will not come.
They will not come. They won't come.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm going to come.
Oh. Fix the video, please. What's wrong with the video?
He says his screen is black. I don't.
Maybe reload. Maybe reload. It sounds to me like everybody else is okay. Samuel Miller says, leave Greenland alone. Leave it alone. I think Trump had alternative plans for Greenland.
Why you not bring the gun to me and then I give you $25 gift card to Tim Horton?
Do not redeem it! Do not redeem it! Do not redeem it! Why you redeem it?
I think I think Trump has a better plan than Carney would for Greenland. That's for sure. Um, Planet D is funded by Soros. I mean, maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. It's
else seems
the D's for delusional. They're all delusional. It's getting out of control over there. I mean, I've gone over there a few times and shown you guys what they have to say. I always tell people, don't go and watch their videos. Don't get them any revenue. Don't help with their revenue stream. If you want to dip into their comments and tell them how dumb they are, I mean, that's up to you. But again, I can't encourage harassment or any kind of bad-natured behavior towards Planet D. That channel's ridiculous. I can't believe all the left followers they have. It's what you have to do, and what I tend to do is, rather than get outraged when you see videos like theirs, go look in their comment section, because their comment section really tells you the state of our country. There were people in there when they were talking about Venezuela saying, I'm moving out of the US because of what Trump did. It's like, you probably should if you're that stupid. If you believe what they're saying, yeah, pack your bags and go. They don't need you anymore in America. Like, you're just part of the problem. It's not a matter of my politics versus your politics and whatever I say is right. It's a matter that what they're talking is complete nonsense. It holds no weight. It has no actual fact. It's kind of like that quote from Billy Madison that what you said had no basis whatsoever, and people are more dumb having listened to it. It's if you can't talk with fact and all you're doing is spewing propaganda and gaslighting, you don't belong on a platform indoctrinating people with your propaganda. I'm sorry.
You ever notice how when we talk about stuff, we bring up articles and we cite things?
Yep.
They're just those two people talking into the air, and you could tell they're reading a script. They're so wooden and weird and making weird faces. It's so cringe.
What they do, and you can tell with the teleprompter, so they go to Chat GPT, and what they'll do is they'll tell Chat GPT, write us a 10-minute video script about what Trump is doing in Venezuela as somebody on the liberal side who doesn't agree with Maduro being taken or whatever. And then all they'll do is cite what's being written. They literally put no work into their videos. They'll get AI to write their script, and then they throw it on their teleprompter, and then the guy sits there, waiting to rail his boyfriend when they're done filming, and the wife sits there, staring into nowhere like she's proud and proper, even though, they both probably smell like cat piss. I can't deal with people like
faces.
It's like I said, I've seen better acting in porno. Like, I can't. The fact of the matter is, folks, I'm no Oscar-winning nominee. I don't run this channel like somebody with a ton of experience, but I can tell you right now that people at least want to listen to what's said on this channel for the most part. I'll talk to you like I'm talking to one of my friends in the room. The way that they talk is so robotic and it's so disconnected. I don't understand why people subscribe to that nonsense or listen to it. It's all garbage. And it has nothing to do with their politics. It's the way they handle it. Like, I would literally talk to anybody who watched them and say, what's wrong with your brain? Like, do you enjoy that brain rot? Like, what are you doing? JP Alberta, they go to the Leering Center. They probably run a Leering Center. JP with a $10 super chat. Trump is presenting a bill to Congress. It needs to pass through both houses. Treaties and such cannot be signed or ripped up without Congress. Yeah, that's true. Well, thanks for the update. Thank you for the super chat. I don't understand how people can watch that stuff and call it entertainment or informative, for that matter. And not only that, folks, for the amount of times that I'm not trying to sound, how do I say it without sounding sour? I don't want to sound bitter or anything like that, or like I'm whining, but with the amount of times this channel gets its videos taken down or reported, or flagged for misinformation, or flagged for harassment and what was the other one? Hate speech.
Because Matt the F word too many times on stream.
Yeah, but these two can sit on a platform and have hateful rhetoric, false information, propaganda, lies, false facts, fake news, and get pushed through the algorithm and told, hey, you should watch these guys. They're fantastic. I know Google is in on it and things like that, but the point of the matter is that what I can't understand is why a company that's worth billions of dollars, looks at content like that and says, oh, that's advertiser friendly. That's good for us. Come on. Which two? The channel's called Planet D. I wouldn't advise watching it unless you really hate yourself. Unless you're looking for a reason to ask for maid. I wouldn't because they're
a joke right out of my mouth.
I love that term. That's our new term. They're weffed up. There you go. I love it. CD, thank you for that. Thank you for that one. They're weffed up. JP Alberta first, $5 super chat. Not like Canada where the PM doesn't need to go to Parliament. Yeah, well, what is it Mark Carney would say? Who cares?
Who cares?
Weffed up. I love it. Their subscribers are bots. Well, they could be bought and paid for. I know a fair amount of channels on this platform that bought their views. They view bot. You can always tell when somebody view bot it because their views are through the roof, or the interactions in their live streams are robotic. The comments are robotic, and videos will have either the same or similar comments going one after another, or they'll have very little likes, very little comments, tons of views. That's
Lots
how you
of views, no engagement.
view botting. People used to do that stuff on Twitch all the time when I used to go on Twitch because they thought for some reason it's going to prop up their channel and it's going to put them in. They're buying their way into the algorithm. All it does is sabotage your channel and it stops your growth. So I always tell people that want to get into YouTube, it's going to be a long struggle. It's a long haul. What is it AC/DC used to say? It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, but take your time. Get it naturally. Don't overinflate your channels. Don't play. There's no cheating. It doesn't prosper. Put out good content. You'll even put out half okay content like I do. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Sanjali, $7 super chat. The left call us racist, misogynist, maple MAGA. We need independence. Hell yeah, we do. Thank you for the $7 super chat. Bradley Wilcox.
Maple, make Alberta great again.
Yep. Bradley, $2 super chat. I went to watch them to make fun of them. Well, that's fine, but then they're getting paid. That's the problem. They're getting paid from your view. Don't give them money. Ladies and gents, I got to wrap up the stream. I got to get videos ready for you tomorrow. So we're going to break out of here. I want to thank each and every one of you who came into the stream tonight, who was chatting with us, who sat with us, everybody who super chatted, joined our Patriots Club, those who gifted memberships. You guys are always amazing. Join us Friday. Mrs. Fringe is going to sit down. We're going to have a lot more to talk about. I'm sure big developments will hit with Mark Carney. A lot more pressure is going to be put on him. We might have more stories about MPs and the floor crossings and everything else. Guys, have a great night.
To wake up tomorrow and see how many Nike stores got looted in Minnesota.
We'll see how many Nike stores got it. Hey, guys, from myself and from Matt here at the Fringe, have a great night. Look after yourselves. Watch out for ice in the Leering centers and take care. We'll catch you on the next one, everybody. Have a great night.